From another undisclosed locations for reasons of security and insecurity, we present you MnRTV Live Show. And tonight, speaking of security, we're talking about ISIS, a global crisis 2015. With the recent attacks and everything that's been going on, we feel here at MNR that we have to talk about ISIS. And that's what we'll be focusing on a whole show tonight. But before I get started, let me introduce to you my partner in crime right here from the Montreal Anti-Illuminati Task Force. Here is the madman himself, Mario. Welcome to the show.
Yes, finally, we made it through another week, right? Because we thought we'd never make it through the week, right?
It's been a hard week, and we just want to wish our American viewers happy Thanksgiving, and that's it, right?
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all you American viewers. You guys are the best. Don't you ever forget about that. Well, the non-sheeple, right?
That's right.
You know who you are. You know who you are. I'm not going to bring out the whole list because then it will never end. But you guys keep up the fight, right?
Exactly. And this has been brought to you by the Montreal Anti-Illuminati Task Force. And tonight, what a show we've got. ISIS is a global crisis 2015 show. And we've got a lot of information tonight, and it's not a joke.
No, it's not. And we're not going to do like what the mainstream does. Because the mainstream, you know what they do. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's all scripted. And this is what you got to say, and that's it. But here on the MnRTV Live Show, there's no boundaries. We don't like to muffle people. We want to know what the hell is going on, and we have to know what's going on. Right, brother?
That's right. That's right, man. That's right. And now let us begin.
Shall we commence with the intro and then the news and then the topic, which is on ISIS? In around half an hour-ish or so.
Indeed. Go ahead.
It's a lot of info-packed show, which you people out there need to know. All right, so let me go. By the way, this is me. This is Mario. I'm the one that's going to be showing you all the things on the on the screen, so like that you can see for yourself what the hell we're talking about, because you need to know what we're talking about. Yes, Robert.
Can you see me? I just want to say that I've been deep research with this book, Inside ISIS: The Brutal Rise of a Terrorist Army, by Benjamin Hall, and I still haven't finished reading it, but it's a good read. It's one of the best. Like, there was 4 or 5 books. I'm glad I chose this one to read about ISIS, because we've got to know the enemy, or the supposed enemy of the enemy of the enemy. That's all I'm going to say, folks. But let us begin.
Yes, so here she is. Here's our beautiful MNR Productions Mariolaur.blogspot.ca, which appears under all the previous shows that we've done, right? And you should bookmark this if you can, just so like that you can see us prior, whenever you want. If you can't watch the show live, or you can watch the recording, it's all there, as you can see all on the side from when we began. 2006. We got to keep stressing it for the new people. We got to keep saying this, right?
That's right, exactly. And there's a video right there. Just reload, refresh, and press that, and you'll see us live. And there's a rectangle right there, and I'm sure tonight there's going to be a lot of action in the chat room. That's for sure. And
so now we shall go to the popular pictures of the week, which were shown on both Conspiracy Talks on Google Plus and Facebook.
Al-Qaeda headquarters. Found it. It was in 90 Virginia this whole time. Yeah, right. That's for sure. There's some kind of connection there.
Well, because we know that the CIA funded it. So you know what? We'll be talking about it in the news. We'll get more into it, but that's why its headquarters are there. Al-Qaeda. Or how do you call it, Rob?
Al-Qaeda, why?
No, don't you say Al-Qaeda?
Oh, yeah, Al-Qaeda. Yes. Thanks for reminding me.
So there it is. If you want to go find them, they're in your backyard. Well, to the American people, not to us. But here, they're grooming them, right?
Look at this here. Nazis, ISIS. Understand yet?
The same thing. Nazis were run by who? CIA?
the Nazis.
They
Yeah,
were funded by the
funded by the
Americans.
Rothschilds.
But they were funded by them. They were funded by exactly who you said, the Rothschild and that. And ISIS is funded by who? The Rothschild also.
But not the CIA, because the CIA came in existence, I think, in 1951 or 52. The Nazis was before that, but I'm sure that they were trained by people like that.
Okay, Bush. Bush, the father of the grandfather, no?
Prescott Bush, he
Yeah.
funded the Nazis also. So there. That's
Exactly.
his,
People have to do their research. Of
his,
course, that's not written in your history books. That's why I take history books and I throw them out the window because they're all bullshit. You know, they're trying to feed you crap. Oh, okay, the next one, suivant.
refugees threaten your way of life. That must be rough. And there's a Native American right there. Mm.
Because that's the refugees, which were us, right? We went and we
Our
just,
ancestors, yeah.
you know, because the white man disrupted their lives. It's so sad, though. Because you know what? A lot of these Indians, they had the secrets of life. Meaning, if they weren't feeling good, if you weren't feeling good, well, they found a hub that would have helped you. But
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah, they work with the land and everything.
sad. Anyhow, the next, we've on next.
Never forget this one key fact. If Obama had not bypassed Congress in Libya, which is the CIA armed and trained the Syrian rebels from Benghazi, who were known to be terrorists, to topple Assad without the approval of Congress, there would be no refugee crisis. This was not an accident. That's
Well,
for sure.
yeah, they bombed their houses, kind of like us. If they come here, whatever country, because we don't have petroleum, if they would come and bomb our place, where would we go? You know, we'd be
Exactly.
refugees too, because someone bombed their houses. So, so we've on next. Yeah,
Coming soon to a city near you, where there is crises, she is there. False flag girl. If you've seen her, run like hell. And yes, we must. And look, there's a satanic uh, Baphomet in there. Do you see it?
yeah, the pentagram.
Yeah, look, and look, there's a star over there. Not the Star of David with
Yeah,
a Nazi symbol in it.
yeah, on the dog. Yes, that's it.
Yeah. No, and
Yeah,
even her belt,
yeah, right there.
Yeah. So, Mary, would you date her if you saw her?
No, no, no. It's okay. So we've on next. I don't want to get excited over that.
Good, good. Let's not get you excited now. All right. 8 reasons the NWO hates Syria. In solidarity with Syria. Syria's central bank is owned and controlled. Yeah, and we know all of that. Syria's no IMF. Syria's banned GMO. Syria's population is well informed about the New World Order. Syria's massive oil. Syria's clearly unequivocally opposes Zionism in Israel. Syria is one of the last secular Muslim states in the Middle East. Syria proudly maintains and protects its political and cultural national identity. But now it's all in shambles.
And you know, this is the reasons. You gotta sit down. If when you record, when this video or show gets recorded, pause and keep looking at that because that's the reason why they're there. There's no other reason why they're there. And the same reason why they took out Saddam, they took out Gaddafi. You know,
The NWO, exactly, and now the creation of ISIS, the boogeyman. That's
they want to control
that's just been making the news and the news. That's all it's been doing.
the globalists want to control the world.
Yeah.
So we've on next.
We ask terrorists around the world, why did you choose a career in terrorism? And look what it says down there. I hate them. 0% I hate for the freedom. 5% Allah says killed infidel. 20% U.S. military won't leave our country and treat us like criminals. 25% the CIA pays me well, and 50% I'm not a terrorist. I'm a dad whose son who was killed, and I'm pissed.
Because you know what? Behind every joke, there's always truth. So this might be a joke, but there's some truth. Well, quite a lot of truth behind that, right?
That's right.
So we've on next.
Okay, so you mean to tell me the U.S. gives a 45-minute warning to ISIS before bombing their oil trucks, but no warning to civilians in hospitals attending weddings, etc.? Yeah, apparently Obama told him 45 minutes beforehand, get the hell out of here. we're going to be bombing. Like, why? Is this even true?
Come on, I wouldn't be surprised. Why would you be surprised? I'm not surprised. This isn't
No,
surprise to me
it's,
because it's
it's,
all planned. It's
it's,
all lies.
that's
Eh,
yeah, exactly, right.
so move on next because there's so much to do and
Saudi
talk.
Arabia is right next to Syria and has 100,000 empty air conditioning tents for 3 million people. But like Kermit says, but that's none of my business.
No, of course not. Send them to North America. Send them
Exactly, so they
down
could
to Europe.
infiltrate. They could infiltrate.
See, Saudi Arabia is one of the reasons why they bombed Syria, and they're the ones that should take in the Syrian refugees, not us. Well, indirectly, yeah, we did bomb
But
because
but here but here in
our.
Canada, but here in Canada, we're supposed to be getting women and children.
Hmm. So we've on next.
Read this real slowly and think about it. Then read it again and help it sink in. We're sending assault weapons to rebels in Syria to confront a regime that doesn't not represent them. There is no reason why any American should own assault weapons.
Pause again. Pause this video or
Think about
show
it.
and just look and read it, understand it. Once you do, you're saying, makes no sense, but this does make lots of sense, what's written here. So Yvonne, next.
Why is Obama using the term ISIL? Well, when Obama had administration that a terror sweeping across the Middle East, ISIL instead of ISIS, they are identifying the Arab Islamic country that doesn't recognize the state of Israel. When the term ISIL is used, it stands for the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. The Levant is the land bridge from Turkey to Egypt. So by using the term ISIL and he and his administration are recognizing an Islamic state from Turkey to Egypt and denying that Israel even exists.
I always wonder why Obama always, he's the only one that uses ISIL. He's the only one. I've noticed
But
that.
there's also a new one now, Dash or something. Do you know about that?
No, I don't.
And,
I
and
hope
yeah,
you can.
apparently it's offending to them. If you say you're from Dash to ISIS, they're gonna gun you down and cut your head off. It means like stupid or something.
I don't know, but we'll be hearing about it
Something
soon.
derogatory against me.
All right, so now this explains it all. As the world blowing up, all the hypocrites have this picture of themselves on Facebook, and they like what's happening,
And they
right?
like everything, yeah. And it's a t-shirt of Facebook.
Yeah, because that only on Facebook you get that nonsense. I mean, where are these people before this happened? They didn't even care about Paris or France,
And it
right?
says, and the mainstream says if we don't put these pictures up, we are looked upon as sympathizers to the terrorists, people that don't put these things. I read that. That's stupid. The
That's
Onion,
not.
12 years ago, you thought Osama bin Laden was bad. Just wait until the countless children who become orphans by U.S. bombs in the coming weeks all grown up. And look what's happened now. A million bin Laden. Isn't this what ISIS is, folks? It's got me thinking. Hopefully, it's got you thinking also.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's 12 years ago, but it's the Onion, right? So could
Yeah.
we really trust the Onion? So we've
Yeah,
on
but
next.
it does make sense. But ISIS next. Look, and I know there is right there the Eiffel Tower and next to Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, a demon god or something, demon goddess.
Who the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah, that's what it represents if you do your research.
Yeah, I know. But we can't get into that now.
No, that's a whole topic on its own.
Yeah. How to tell the difference between ISIS and Muslims? Kills indiscriminately, wants to flee the guy. Wild-eyed of crazy murder, weary-eyed from being blamed for his atrocities. Uses iPhone to recruit others on social media. Uses iPhone to condemn attacks on social media. Suicide belt, fashion belt, attack mosques. Hope ISIS or right-wing nuts don't attack her mosque, calls himself a Muslim, calls him a terrorist.
Well, the point of this is know the difference between a terrorist, I mean, an ISIS member, and a Muslim. They're two different things, right?
Exactly.
That's the whole point of this. Because a lot of people around the world are thinking all Muslims are terrorists, but they're not.
No.
You know, there's just a handful, kind of like bees with killer bees. There's a difference.
Or Italians and the mafia, especially back
Yeah,
in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, perhaps.
yeah, that too. There's so many. Anyhow, so we've on next.
If Christianity is a control tool, why are these why all these anti-Christians?
Because it's the Illuminati who designed all these things. That's why. And they're against Christians because they have the rules,
Well, the
right?
Illuminati is Luciferian in nature, anti-Christian.
So we've on next. Oops. Okay, I'll go to the next. Okay, go on.
Boko Haram just killed 32 people and injuring 80 others in Nigeria. Look at me. I'm helping. I bet nobody on Facebook changes their profile pics to a Nigerian flag. Huh.
Well, there was no app to it. That's
No, I
why.
know. But this guy here looks like a salam, I know.
Yeah, I know. A piece of salam.
He is, yeah.
A poser, right?
Yeah, poser, that's it.
But that's where the wind goes. That's where he goes. So we've on next.
Passport, cell phone, and the explosive bombs
Well,
on.
no, this whole picture means one thing. Wherever ISIS is, the passports are not far away, or Al Qaeda, or wherever the terrorist is. That's what that means.
What are these passports made of? Are they made of some kind of alien technology that doesn't blow up?
No,
Oh my God.
no. The whole point is
I know.
it's to point out. Okay, you're being sarcastic. Okay, because it's just to point out, just to say, like, you know, they're the reasons why this is happening. Okay, so we've on next. This I love.
Obama called them evil. Free healthcare, free electricity, no interest loans. Newlyweds receive 50K to find a home. Mothers receive 5,000 when the children is born. Rebuilding Africa. Yeah, if we got married, will we get 50K? No, we'd be down 50K or 30K to pay for a stupid wedding.
But this man,
Unfreaking real.
the whole point of this, kind of like Assad or Saddam Hussein, this man was killed for doing this because he was helping people and he wasn't a globalist, right?
Exactly. So you know, this guy gives free electricity. He doesn't know free electricity. If we want to get married, we're going to be out of the hole. And next thing you know, in a year or so, the lady's going to kick us out or something. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. Just unreal. The way the world is now. Huh.
And people do nothing about it. People are too busy watching the American Music Award with Miley Ray Cyrus's tits pointing out at everybody. You just see
something else, and something else between her legs. Did you see the new one?
I mean, come on. And kids are.
What the hell? I'm like, what the hell?
Anyhow, this is supposed to be a kid show. We can't be talking about that, right? Well, a family show. Kids are permitted to watch this. We don't want them to be exposed to that garbage. So we go next.
Russia suspends military cooperation with Turkey. Will use warships to destroy any threats to Russian planes. How long until U.S. military assets become Russian targets? I'm telling you what happened yesterday with Turkey shooting the Russian bomber, the Russian plane. Oh gosh, I think Putin's not very happy about that.
No, he's not. But don't forget, this is also rumors of war. Like I keep stressing out, it's all rumors of war, like it said in the Bible, and there'll be more. But at the end, I believe at the end, Turkey and Russia are going to be allies. No,
attacking Israel.
I think so. They'll be friends again. Mistakes happen. You'll see. So that's on our blog, right?
Exactly.
The next thing is conspiracy talk
on Facebook,
and we have one also on Google Plus. Like I said before, you just click here to come and watch us live, or to watch our latest show, or to interact with all the pictures that you saw that are out there, you know. I mean, there's a lot of,
It's a great website on
yeah.
Facebook.
I mean,
You shall
people wanna join it all the time, right?
exactly.
And that's Chatango, you know.
Yeah. And you see what it says. They call him Daesh, and they don't like it.
Hmm. All right, so now I guess we'll start with Taupake. I mean, not the Taupake, obviously, no, the Taupake you're gonna have to wait for, right? And we're gonna
Exactly.
start that soon. We just have to. Now we're gonna talk about the news, right?
A bit of news. Premier Philip Couillard to sponsor Syrian refugees. That's our prime minister. No, our
No.
premier in Quebec.
Yeah. Now I'm not going to get into the article because it is quite old, as you can see, September. But what brought to my attention was yesterday. I heard him say exactly this on the radio or on the French television. Don't worry, we'll find money for these refugees. Now, it's like I just sat there and I said, wait a minute now. You have enough money to give to the refugees, which is nice. I'm not going to take it against you. But yet, meanwhile, our education is falling apart. Our hospitals are falling apart. Well, falling apart. You know, there's no more staff. They want to get rid of all the staff from working. It's like, can we really afford these Syrian refugees? And at the end, you know where it's going to come out from? Our tax money that we're paying because we're the taxpayers. So at the end, we're still going to pay from our pocket. It's not coming out of Couillard's pocket. It's coming out of our pocket. And
But the
it's
thing,
and you know who bombed them? We spoke about who bombed them in the first place. Yes, go on. That's my take on that.
if one day we have no jobs and we need some kind of help, governmental help, what's going to happen? What are they going to tell us?
They don't care about us. That's the whole thing. Start caring about your citizens that are paying taxes because without us, you're nothing. That's the thing, right? Without us, the government's nothing.
I
The only
know.
reason he's there is because of us paying money to him, taxes. So people wake up and listen to what I just said. Listen to what we just said before because that's very important. We don't have money. It's like here we are, we're falling apart. Society is falling apart here. But yeah, we're going to find enough money to give all these people doctors, medicine, places to live, food. It's all our taxpayers that's going to go on this. Our tax money, I should say, us the taxpayers that are going to pay for this. So anyhow, it's sad.
It's a big mess. ISIS has created a big mess, which indirectly affects us.
Hold on now. I should have done something before. Okay, so now we shall commence because that was unprecedented, but I still had to find it and talk about that. Now we're going to talk about the Paris
Paris
some
terror attacks, foreknowledge and aftermath exposed. Yes, folks, there was foreknowledge of it. When the dust settled, the fact remains that there is evidence of past attack foreknowledge. It's always important to question everything. It appears that certain people and groups knew in advance that Paris was going to happen. Another indication, false flags. Mainstream outlets have referred to the Paris attacks as France's 9/11, which is interesting since 9/11 was a blatant false flag attack with plenty of evidence and prior foreknowledge. The first piece of evidence Paris attacks foreknowledge was an incredible tweet date stamped 11/11/15, a full 2 days before the Paris attacks occurred on 11/13/15 on November 13, 2015. Yeah, I was wondering about that. According to Twitter, once a tweet is made or posted, it cannot be edited but only deleted. Various mainstream news outlets have explained this away as a tweet randomly generated bot, which takes headlines and text and randomly merges them into a new masked up and unreal method. Some outlets claim the bot took a tweet about the Charlie Hebdo attack earlier this year in 2015 and masked it up. And there it is, right there. Breaking death toll from Paris terror attack rises at least 120, with 270 others injured.
It makes you wonder. It makes you really wonder if someone out there knows everything. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. I'm just a group of 13 men that know about these things, that plan these things. Anyhow, Bot Auto tweet with Paris attack foreknowledge. If not this surely is highly improbable and eerie coincidence. However, Twitter is not alone with possible foreknowledge. Wikipedia's second piece of evidence was in on the act, with incredibly detailed descriptions of the attack up to just 2 hours afterwards. Wikipedia also made a slip-up in their version at 11:06, as they read an event yet to happen at 20:58. In a televised statement approximately 11:58, French President François Hollande declared a state of emergency and closing borders for the whole of France. How could the writer report what President Hollande did at 11:58 and it's a fait accompli when he's writing at 11:06 before it happened? Does this remind us of the BBC reporting of the fall of Building 7, with Building 7 still in the background? All right.
It
The
makes
third,
it makes you wonder.
yeah, the third piece of foreknowledge is that the Bataclan Theater, one of the main scenes of the Paris attacks, was sold by its Jewish owners just 2 weeks before the attacks. The theater may now be turned into a memorial of some type, but either way, it seems it is very likely an attack that would destroy businesses. Give the connection between Israel and ISIS, which stands for Secret Israeli Secret Service Intelligence Service. Is this just another astounding coincidence of further proof of knowledge? Here's a fourth piece, a general foreknowledge of the Paris attacks. As revealed by the Times of Israel itself, the Jewish community was getting prepared in the months before the bombing of some kind of terror attack. For months, security officials in France, Jewish community have been warned of the very real possibility of an impending large terrorist attack in the country, although there had been no specific information, according to Jonathan Simo Salem, a freelance journalist and a representative of French citizens in Israel. The fifth piece of evidence is the CIA-sponsored meeting between intelligence heads of the four powerful countries running the Anglo-American Zionist New World Order: the US, Britain, Israel, and France. So what solutions does President Hollande and France roll out in the wake of the false flag of Paris? Why? More centralized control, surveillance, and war, of course. How else could you stop terror? Or more accurately, how else could you stop the terror you helped create? Hollande declared a state of emergency. France's national borders shut down, a mandatory curfew in Paris for the first time since 1944, according to the Associated Press. He deployed the French army on the streets of Paris to enter any home, business, or building without needing the consent of its owners. He urged French lawmakers to extend the state of emergency to 3 months, to pass new laws that would allow authorities to strip the citizenship of French-born terrorists and make it easy to deport suspected terrorists.
It's martial law there, right, in Paris.
Is it still to this day?
Last time I checked, yeah, I don't know. They're not really talking much about it now, but
I know. It's terrible.
I mean, this is a great article. Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, wow.
I know. This will be posted up everywhere. I wish that they would, I wish we could post it everywhere.
I'm gonna probably post it up. Well, it's gonna appear in the description. I might even post it up on on Conspiracy Talk.
Exactly. I'm telling you.
It's no laughing matter, right?
Right.
Now there's something else. Let me just hold on. Let me make sure it's. Yeah. Okay. So this is from the Express.
Anonymous destroys ISIS Twitter accounts in campaign. U.S. officials take secret pleasure in.
Now we're not going to read about this, though. I mean, no.
Yeah, apparently, Anonymous took down 20,000 accounts, Twitter accounts, and they're linked to terror groups and a cyber campaign.
Yeah, but you know who I think, who I've always said is anonymous, CIA. So here it is, CIA going against another CIA run group, right?
Well,
ICs. I mean,
exactly.
I'm just going down in case you want to see if there's any important parts, but
They are threatening to wipe out ISIS from the internet in their biggest operations ever. Well, good luck to that. Let's hope it does happen, but we'll see what really happens after.
it's not going to happen because we know who Anonymous
Who, who,
is. So it's who's their boss, who's Anonymous's boss, and who is ISIS's boss. There's your answer.
the same people who run the world.
Yeah,
The
you know.
Illuminati, the Rothschild.
And look at the Joker there. Look at the Joker. But anyhow,
They still haven't found whatever his name is. Admine, whatever his name is.
well, he's a boogeyman, no?
Yeah, pray for Paris.
Pray for the world, not just for Paris.
It's terrible though. I'm telling you, it's like what happened is like you gotta feel bad for everything, but it's just there's a lot of fear mongering, and I do think we're getting closer to the end of the age.
Or it's a new beginning. That's what I always say. Okay, so now what happened yesterday, right? Thanks to Alex Jones. This is his post. Turkey threatens Putin. Stop bombing ISIS.
Exactly,
Days
and
before jet shot down.
exactly right there. Turkey shot down a Russian S-24 fighter jet it claimed had violated Turkish space just days after threatening Moscow with serious consequences if it continues bombing ISIS in Syria. The plane was flying at an altitude of 6,000 meters when it was shot down. Russian President Vladimir Putin calls the act a stab in the back by accomplices of terrorism, and he did say there's going to be consequences.
But you know, wait a second here. Hold your horses. Hold on. Didn't the pilot survived? You know that, eh?
Eh?
The pilot apparently survived because when you're in those jets, there's a way to press a button and you come flying out, and there's like they have a parachute. You know that.
Yeah.
He did survive, so I don't see why you'd want to fight over that. Look at this. Look at this. This is a lot right here.
800 tower. How much is that? 8 million
800, yeah, 800 million, I think.
or 8 million worth of ISIS oil has been sold in Turkey, a supposedly U.S. ally. ISIS trucks are routinely allowed to cross back and forth between the Islamic State stronghold of Raqqa and Turkey.
See that's what it all comes down to. And you all you do is if you get rid of oil, cars that run on oil, make them work either on water or electricity or whatever, it solves the war in the Middle East. But they're not going to do that because why? They want to have reason for war, to kill us, to scare us, to put fear in us, because that's how they control us, through fear, right?
Exactly, for sure. No Turkey shooting down a Russian warplane will not spark World War III.
You see what I've been saying? And there they are, look, especially him, the reptilian.
Only 3 short hours of Turkey announcing it had shot down a Russian warplane for violating its airspace, an unusual phrase appeared as a new trending topic to Twitter. World War III, the conversation is both joking and not joking. You can see why people worry. Turkey is a NATO ally, meaning that, at least in theory, the other members of NATO, the US, and most of Europe can be obliged to come to its defense against an external attack. A theoretical slide into conflict between Turkey and Russia could thus I lost my train. Where was I? A theoretical slide in conflict between Turkey and Russia could thus also become a conflict between Russia and NATO, dragging the world's top 4 nuclear powers into war. Tensions between NATO and Russia have risen for 2 years, and now they're both bombing on opposite sides in Syria. But I'm here to reassure you, this is not the start of World War III, and I say this as someone who has voiced real concern at other ways in which Russia and the US could be dragged into an unintended escalation to war.
So this is to reassure, are you people fearing that there's going to be World War III? That's why I put this here. Why we're showing you this. Don't sleep tight on this tonight, folks. Nothing's going to happen. It's all rumors of war at the end, like I keep telling you, because you want to know the proof that you're just rumors of war. And that's what's happening on our beautiful Chitango. Look at that. All you people having fun. That's what we want to see. That's what we're here for. We're here for having fun and here to teach you what you really need to know. Right there? Right there, Robert?
Yes.
Okay, now there's something I caught my attention. This was even on TV, French news.
Exactly. Like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Trump says when towers fell on 9/11, he saw thousands and thousands celebrating in Jersey City. But the mayor says something else.
Now, this is from, you see, this is why I love this man, in a way. But what is he really behind? What is behind all of this? That one day we will find out.
Presidential candidate Donald Trump says he saw people cheering the September 11 attacks across the river in New Jersey, a claim officials strongly deny. Trump first told the story at a rally in Birmingham, Alabama, as he pressed the need for greater surveillance, including monitoring certain mosques in the wake of the Paris attacks. I watched the towers came tumbling down, and I watched in Jersey City, New Jersey, where thousands and thousands of people were cheering as the building was coming down. Thousands of people were cheering, Trump says, Saturday at a rally in Birmingham, Alabama. I don't know anything about this, really. Like, this is the first week I heard about it, but before that I didn't.
What do you mean? I found out this on Monday. I don't know if that's when you seen it.
I saw it maybe last Friday or something, but I didn't pay too much attention to it.
No, but that's why I brought it to the show. That's why we brought it to the show. So like that, it's like right into people's attention, and it's like it makes you want to think. Like what 9/11 was an inside job, just like Paris. What I say is an inside job.
Yeah, and what's this guy talking about? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we would have heard about it a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure, we love eating turkey. That's why turkey is in a lot of mess.
I had to take my turkey this week, so I'm happy. I had my turkey, and I had turkey sandwich this morning, so for lunch, so it's good.
Oh, the next one.
Large Hadron Collider update. CERN prepares for heavy ion collisions with proton reference run.
Yeah, hold on. I'm hearing a voice. Hold on. Where is that coming from? Oh, okay.
I didn't hear the voice.
You didn't?
I thought you were getting sick over there saying you hear the voice. Good.
No. But as long as you didn't hear the voice, I didn't want people to hear that voice because you know how it is. They might take it as copyright material and take this show down. Okay, so this is here. This is to show that there's news in the CERN, right?
Actually, we didn't talk about CERN in a long while now.
This is not forgotten. I mean, maybe that's why the false flag is going on, because CERN is they're doing stuff with CERN and they don't want people to concentrate on CERN.
In the latest step towards carrying out collisions of lead ions in the 17-mile ring of the Large Hadron Collider, the operations team at CERN on Thursday began colliding protons at the lower energy of 2.51 teleelectronics volts per beam, providing a basic reading. Earlier this month, CERN announced it had successfully completed the proton run for this year after accelerating bunches of protons to a record energy of 13 TeV, or 6.5 TeV per beam, breaking its 2012 record of 8 TeV collisions, which led to the discovery of the Higgs boson, also known as the God particle. However, as CERN explained in a statement released Thursday, collisions between the much heavier lead ions are way more complex than those between a single proton. So I don't know. I know what this all means, really, but
we're not scientists, right?
It just looks like it's something heavy duty that could come out of it once all these things collide, and who knows, if they make a mistake, what could be open.
Well, the whole point of us showing you this is that they're actually working on it. It hasn't been like pushed away. That's a whole point to that, you know.
Yeah.
That's why we're showing this. Yes, yes. Hold on, Trish. We're coming. You're coming on in a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
Just I
yeah,
want to show it's.
she wants to talk while we go on break, but that will be very soon. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to show the
Ah,
stuff
yes,
that's happening
there he is. I
like
haven't seen him in a while.
this.
I haven't researched any UFOs in a while now. Another vortex-like UFO spotted in the skies of Siberia, Russia.
Why Russia? That's the question.
And there's your buddy right there. In
Green
green.
man, eh?
Yeah. Another vortex-like UFO has been spotted over the skies of Russia on Tuesday, November 17, 2015. Thousands of people took to social media and tweeted what appeared to be a UFO over the city. This is just getting stranger. At the same UFO rocket also appeared over Southern California a few weeks ago. What could this all mean? Only time will tell as new information surfaces.
Oh yeah, I seen the video. You see it. You see the vortex opening
Yeah.
up, and you look at that cool bag. There's all kinds of stuff, you know. But that's it with deal. And now we're gonna go to the last one because Trish is like she's like won't let me go. Eh? She's like gonna rip my arm off. She really
Okay.
wants to come on and talk about her stuff, but we can't end the show. I mean, we cannot end the first part of the show without talking about deals.
Final proof of life on Mars. Alien and UFO found carved in red rock into rock on red planet. Martian hunters are toasting their biggest finds of the year amid claims they have stumbled across ancient rock carvings on the surface of Mars.
And you know who did that, right? The fallen angels, the so-called fallen angels, which are aliens, but there they
Aliens,
are.
fallen angels pretending that they're aliens, but they're really fallen angels.
Yes, their Halloween costume, you know.
Yeah,
For
but
them, Halloween is all year round.
yeah, but they shapeshift.
That too.
Alien buffs spend hundreds of hours looking for evidence of alien life by scouring through pictures taken by the NASA Curiosity rover, then placed them online, claiming to have unearthed a carving showing a UFO and humanoid being in hieroglyphics like etching on a rock, and a double whammy. ET chasers claim to have proved Mars once had a sentient alien population, that UFOs are real in the same stroke. Hell yeah, this particular NASA photo has a lot, but the crown jewel is its hieroglyphics on a large broken wall. And isn't there hieroglyphics in the pyramids?
Yes, there are. But you know what? I have reason to believe that this is a whole show on its own, that there were actually portals that brought people back then from Earth to Mars, and it has something to do with the pyramids, kind of like that movie there, Stargate.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, for sure. But we can't go into it now. But yeah, it is like it's a vortex of hell. Nothing good comes out of it. That's for sure. And I agree.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to play around with this kind of stuff, because you know what happens when you play with this kind of stuff.
Exactly. So, folks, we're going to be going on a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about ISIS, a global crisis 2015, and is she ready to come on the show?
Oh, wait. Oh, no. Is she? I think I'm having problems here.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know how it is. You know how it is with women. They say they want to come on, they're ready, and sometimes they're not. They probably put on her makeup or something, or fixing her hair, or seeing if her eyelashes are okay.
But you see what the problem is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're seeing what my problem is, right?
What? Yeah.
This is my problem.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's my problem. Anyways, we'll just let her do her thing, and
We'll break, and we'll come back, and we'll be talking about ISIS. All right.
all right. So heals Trish.
Daesh and Islamic State group redirect here. For other uses, CISIL, disambiguation, ISIS, disambiguation, Daesh, disambiguation, and Islamic State, disambiguation, Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, and al-ISL, F, L, Ear, Kiwash SH, and participants in the Syrian Civil War, Iraq War, 2003, 2011, Iraqi insurgency, Iraq War, 2014, present, Second Libyan Civil War, Boko Haram insurgency, war in northwest Pakistan, war in Afghanistan, Yemeni Civil War, and other conflicts. Primary target of Operation Inherent Resolve into the military intervention against ISIL in Syria, Iraq, Libya, and Nigeria. Flag active 1999. Present joined Al-Qaeda, October 2004 Declaration of an Islamic State in Iraq, October 13, 2006 Claim of territory in the Levant. April 8, 2013 separated from Al-Qaeda, went to February 3, 2014 3 Declaration of Caliphate. June 29, 2014 Claim of territory in Libya, Egypt, Algeria, Saudi Arabia, Yemen. November 13, 2014 Afghanistan, Pakistan and parts of India. January 29, 2015 4 Nigeria, March 12, 2015 5-6 North Caucasus, June 23, 2015 7 Ideology Salafism 8 9 10 Salafi Jihadism 10 11 Wahhabism 11 12 Leaders, Leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, 13 Deputy Leader Abu Ila al-Afri still unconfirmed, 14 15 Deputy Leader in Syria Abu Ali al-Anbari, 16 Deputy Leader in Iraq Abu Muslim al-Turkmani, 1617 Military Chief Abu Sulaiman al-Nizar, 1819 Head of the Shura Council Abu Arkan al-Amari, 20 Chief Spokesperson Abu Muhammad al-Adnani, 1821-22 Chief of Syrian Military Operations Abu Umar al-Shasani, 1823 Headquarters RRAQQAH, Syria, de facto capital, area of operations military situation as of November 25, 2015, in the Iraqi, Syrian, and Lebanese conflicts, controlled by the Iraqi government, controlled by the Syrian government, controlled by the Lebanese government, controlled by the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, controlled by Iraqi Kurdistan forces, controlled by Syrian Kurdistan forces, controlled by Syrian opposition forces, controlled by al-Nusra Front, controlled by Hezbollah. Iraq and Syria contain large desert areas with limited populations. These areas are mapped as under the control of forces holding roads and towns within them. Detailed map of the Syrian Civil War, detailed map of the Iraqi insurgency, detailed map of the Lebanese insurgency, detailed map of the Libyan Civil War, detailed map of the Nigerian insurgency, detailed map of the Sinai insurgency, detailed map of the Yemeni Civil War, strength inside Syria and Iraq. 200,024, Kurdish claim 100,025, Jihadist claim 20,000, 31,026, CIA estimate outside Syria and Iraq 32,600, 57,900. See military of ISIL for more detailed estimates. Estimated total 52,600, 257, 900 originated as Jam et al. Diwalji, D. 1999, 27 The Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, ISIL. Arabic, also known as the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS, /A, S, the Islamic State of Iraq and Asham, 28 or simply Islamic State, is 29 is a Wahhabi Salafi jihadist extremist militant group. It is led by and mainly composed of Sunni Arabs from Iraq and Syria. As of March 2015, it has control over territory occupied by 10 million people in Iraq and Syria, and through loyal local groups, has control over small areas of Libya, Nigeria and Afghanistan. The group also operates or has affiliates in other parts of the world, including North Africa and South Asia. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. The group is known in Arabic as Andallah al-ISL, Ma'af, Al, Ear, Kiwash SH, M, leading to the acronym Daesh or Daesh. Arabic pronunciation, Da, I-3637, the Arabic equivalent of ISIL. On June 29, 2014, the group proclaimed itself to be an Islamic State and worldwide caliphate, with Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi being named its caliph, and renamed itself Ad-Dawla al-ISL. Islamic State is, as a caliphate, it claims religious, political and military authority over all Muslims worldwide, and that the legality of all emirates, groups, states, and organizations becomes null by the expansion of the Caliphate's authority and arrival of its troops to their areas. 28, 38, 39, 40. The United Nations had held ISIL responsible for human rights abuses and war crimes, and Amnesty International has reported ethnic cleansing by the group on a historic scale. The group has been designated a terrorist organization by the United Nations, the European Union and member states, the United States, India, Indonesia, Israel, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Syria and other countries. Over 60 countries are directly or indirectly waging war against ISIL. The group originated as Jamaat al-Tawhid wal-Jihad in 1999, which pledged allegiance to al-Qaeda in 2004. The group participated in the Iraqi insurgency that followed the March 2003 invasion of Iraq by Western forces. In January 2006, it joined other Sunni insurgent groups to form the Mujahideen Shura Council, which proclaimed the formation of the Islamic State of Iraq, ISI, in October 2006. After the Syrian civil war began in March 2011, the ISI, under the leadership of al-Baghdadi, sent delegates into Syria in August 2011. These fighters named themselves Jabhat and Wali al-Sh.M. al-Nusra Front, and established a large presence in Sunni majority areas of Syria, within the governorates of Raqqa, Idlib, Deir ez-Zor, and Aleppo. In April 2013, al-Baghdadi announced the merger of the ISI with al-Nusra Front and that the name of the reunited group was now the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, ISIL. However, Abu Muhammad al-Yulani and Ayman al-Zawahiri, the leaders of al-Nusra and al-Qaeda respectively, rejected the merger. After an 8-month power struggle, al-Qaeda cut all ties with ISIL on February 3, 2014, citing its failure to consult and notorious intransigence. In Syria, the group has conducted ground attacks on both government forces and rebel factions in the Syrian civil war. The group gained prominence after it drove Iraqi government forces out of key cities in western Iraq in an offensive initiated in early 2014. Iraq's territorial loss almost caused a collapse of the Iraqi government and prompted a renewal of U.S. military action in Iraq. 341, 42, 43. ISIL is adept at social media, posting internet videos of beheadings of soldiers, civilians.
All right, thank you, Trish. You're great. You're awesome. We had to stop you there for a little because I could listen to her all day. Eh?
Yeah, we are, eh?
Yeah, that's it. I had to go out and grab myself a coffee too. While I was
there. Viewers did. You went to grab a coffee. So.
All right. So shall we commence the show?
By all means, yes.
I mean the topic.
The main topic, yeah, for sure.
All right. So now we'll talk about what we posted in earlier shows, right?
Breaking news: Putin exposes Obama's paid ISIS mercenaries in Middle East and Syria.
Now this is on October 1st. This was written, and you actually hear him say why he didn't want to bomb Syria, right?
Exactly, and we had talked about this in the past. And
there's a whole video. Yes, yeah. Go on. Take it away.
The press and mainstream news have been avoiding this information in a scathing diplomatic account of Russia's position on the political behavior and actions in the Middle East regarding Syria and ISIS, as well as a reprimand to our press who have failed to do their job. Putin's complete foreign nation. To the U.S. journalist. First point, I never said that I view the U.S. as a threat to our national security. President Obama, as you said, views Russia as a threat, but I don't feel the same way about the U.S. What I do feel is that those politics in those circles of power, if I may use the terms, the politics of those in power is erroneous. It not only contradicts our national interests, it undermines any trust we had in the U.S., and in that way it actually harms the United States as well. Undermine trust with the understanding that they are one of the global leaders in politics and in the matters of the economy. Yeah, so there you go. As I said it before, another threat that President Obama mentioned was ISIS. Well, who on earth armed them? Who armed the Syrians that were fighting with Assad? Who created the necessary political information and climate that facilitates the situation? Who pushed for the deliveries of arms to the area? Do you really not understand who is fighting in Syria? They are mercenaries mostly. Do you understand? They are paid money. Mercenaries fight for whichever side pays more. So they arm them and pay them a certain amount. I even know what these amounts are. So they fight. They have the arms. You can't go. You can't get them to return the weapons. Of course, at the end. Yeah. So this guy knows what he's talking about, eh, Mario?
Yeah, for sure. But don't forget, he's a globalist too. So, was he paid to say this? Do we trust him? Now that's the
Yeah, I know that.
question.
I don't know about trusting it, but apparently he's going against the New World Order because there is information out there that says that Jacob Rothschild, head of the Illuminati, Rothschild family, says that Putin is a traitor to the New World Order. So,
But anyhow, this article says it best when he said that, that he couldn't bomb because United States was paying ICs, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
So
I'm just gonna go down, but
it does make you wonder, you know. So
where's the video? Where's the video? I think it's right there. That's the video.
he says it in his language, but it is translated. So he says it right there.
Yeah, so how many times did I put on conspiracy talk, even on my Facebook wall?
And
You
we even
know?
talked about it. We even talked about it in the previous show.
Oh yeah, when this came out in October, we did mention it. We made a whole bunch of, well, I mean, pictures were posted talking about it. You know, it's like it's like how much more clearer for the sheeple, right? For the
Exactly.
sheeple, how much more does he want proof? And another thing, this also we spoke about in another show. This one right here.
Hillary Clinton admits the CIA started and funded Al Qaeda. Yeah, back in the
There.
90s. The following video features Hillary Clinton candidly acknowledging that America.
Oh, I close this nonsense. I hate when these things happen.
Okay, the following.
What the heck?
Yeah, there's a first tonight. They don't want us saying this.
Oh, okay, because I had to make it smaller, unfortunately. I don't know if you could still read it though.
Yeah. The following video features Hillary Clinton candidly acknowledging that America created and funded Al Qaeda as a terrorist organization in the heyday of the Soviet-Afghan War. What she did not mention is that in no time in the course of the last 30 years has the U.S. ceased to support and finance Al Qaeda as a means to destabilizing sovereign countries. The global war on terror is led by the United States. It is not directed against Al Qaeda. Quite the opposite. The global war on terrorism uses Al Qaeda terrorist operatives as their foot soldiers. Political Islamic imposition of an Islamic State model on Qatar or Saudi Arabia as an integral part of U.S. foreign policy. All of this just says that the U.S. just does things and tries to destabilize countries and pays people and then brainwashes people and turns Islam into radicals, and it just goes on and on. It's so heavily corrupted. It's just a maze of tangled webs. Who weaves the web better than the United States?
Well, but this also mentions how United States paid Al Qaeda to take out Russia at the time when no. Well,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that, but you hear it from her mouth.
I know. I've seen the video. Yeah. So, and she's supposed to be running for president in 2016.
Yeah, but people don't know. People look, it's a woman. We gotta vote for her because it's a woman. We want to have the first woman president ever.
Just like
You know?
Obama, the
Yeah,
the
the
first
first.
colored president.
No, but I say more the first Muslim president, right?
By his name, his name, he calls himself Barack Hussein Obama. So Hussein, it would be Arabic, obviously, or Muslim, but he also calls himself Barry Satora. So who is this Barack Obama? Where does he come from? Was he born in Kenya? But that's a whole show in itself about the president.
Yeah, we should do a show on that. I'm sure pupils out there would want to watch and, because they love watching our show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one.
French says Assad must go. Assad responds, no thanks. Get serious.
Is this you that sent it or me?
No, not me.
Oh, so it must have been my thing. I must have found it and said, why not? Because you know who ISIS, they're against this man, right?
Oh yeah, Assad, Bashar Assad.
And you know why we said it, how many times do we say it?
Even after the Paris attacks and elaborate false flag operations that saw well over 100 innocent victims brutally murdered by the hands of ISIS-linked NATO patsies and apparently unwilling patsies, the French government is holding the nonsensical line that Bashar al-Assad, the number one enemy of ISIS, must step down and relinquish power. France's President François Hollande recently stated that Syrian President Bashar Assad could never be part of the solution because he was part of the problem, despite the fact the problem was created by the hands of NATO countries, notably France itself. Indeed, before the crisis even got fully underway in Syria in 2011, France and the rest of NATO were already deeply engaged in dividing up the spoils of war in Libya, a country that NATO and France helped destroy and return to the living standards of the time before civilization. Thus, Assad was quite right when he responded a question about Hollande's statement by asking, was Hollande assigned by the Syrian population to speak on their behalf? Of course he wasn't, and neither was Obama or Merkel or Cameron. Nor was everyone, although Putin seemed to be doing a pretty good job of doing so at the moment. Regardless, as Assad points out, it is an act of unmitigated arrogance to suggest that the government of crocodile tears being shed over the Syrian people and their human rights, while the same nations are allied with some of the most brutal, autocratic, and undemocratic nations on the face of the earth, such as the Gulf state feudal monarchies of Saudi Arabia and Qatar. So I think that even Saudi Arabia, I think Saudi Arabia has probably one of the most repressive regimes around.
Yeah, but they have a lot of say into what happened in France.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they're definitely controlling ISIS, the CIA.
Exactly.
I guess we can go on to the next one. I'll just go down in case there's something here.
But all of this seems to be out of a script book, eh? All of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's two people right now trying to script more things. Justin Trudeau with the reptilian queen, Elizabeth.
Ah.
Did you see there he went to meet up with her today?
Yeah, he did meet up with Queen Lizzie. But who knows,
Who knows what they're really talking about? We just see it on the news and that's it. No, I think this is from you now. Right there.
The anti-terrorist hacker groups reveals 40 ISIS websites protected by U.S. tech firms. As we go down, the terrorist organization ISIS, or the Islamic State, is known to promote its activities by exploiting the open nature of the internet. This includes recruiting through social medias like Facebook and Twitter, and using sites like YouTube to publish propaganda videos. They're also making use of available web services to guard their sites against cyber attacks and hide their locations. According to information provided by anti-terrorist groups, GoSec, close to 40 pro-ISIS websites are using the services of a Silicon Valley called Cloudflare. Cloudflare is a content delivery network that provides services to speed up websites and render them virtually immune to distributed denial of service, or DDoS, cyber attacks that can overload websites to bring them offline. Among the 34 spreading propaganda, 4 terrorist forums, and 2 other technical services. A brief perusal of the site shows the heaped praise of ISIS, promote terrorist attacks, and some use the chat room for extremists. ISIS recruiters on social media offer pe- direct people to these websites, according to whatever Ghost, as cyber operations director with GhostSec. GhostSec's attempt to disrupt the service, the sites have run into problems. ISIS recruiters have turned to web services to block their efforts. Many online efforts used by ISIS go through open services, and these places providers of these services in a difficult spot. Sites like Google regularly index websites, both good and bad, and ISIS terrorists can create new Facebook and Twitter accounts as quickly as they're pulled offline. According to Cloudflare spokesperson Daniela Valipurpali, during a similar position, she said in an email that Cloudflare has more than 1 million customers and close to 5,000 new sites registered with their services each day. Digital Counterterrorism GhostSec is an affiliate with Anonymous Hacker Collective. GhostSec launches cyber attacks against ISIS recruiting websites and occasionally passes information on planned terrorist attacks to government agencies.
There we go, Anonymous again, remember?
I know. Exactly.
I don't trust them. Never did, never will. I mean, why do you have to cover yourself? That's my thing. There's no reason to cover yourself and muffle your voice or change your voice, I should say. Alter your voice. It doesn't make sense.
Let's see. I wonder how much websites they've taken down. Hopefully they've done a lot. But like I said before previously on the show, it remains to be seen.
They're not going to take down ISIS. It's like me taking you down. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to take down one of your websites. You know, when it's MNR, right? We can. It doesn't work like that.
Right. Yeah, I think we'll go on to the next piece of information here because
what's happening on Chitango? Oh, look at that, Queen Lizard.
The Queen Lizard is in the chat room. Yeah, she's right there. Queen Lizzie, right there.
She indirectly still rules United States, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Through her handlers, Rothschild, yes, for sure.
Well, I'm sure she still controls the feds. I'm sure she's still behind that.
Yeah.
All right. So the next news be non-news.
See, Daesh, that word again, right, Mario?
Yeah, that's who. What's her name? Trish spoke about.
Yeah, because they hate being called that. Daesh and ISIS are gangs of killers with no coordination with central leadership. It is still unclear how the recent attacks in Paris were organized and who was behind them. However, we often hear statements such as ISIS and European boots on the ground. ISIS wants to radicalize Muslims in Europe, or ISIS wants to turn Europeans against refugees from Syria and the Middle East. They all make the mistake of assuming that ISIS and or Daesh are coherent organizations with permanent carry policies. There is no such evidence in this assumption. In fact, all we do know about them shows they cannot work together. They often fight among themselves and have no clear leader. They are gangs of paid mercenaries, and they are not Islamic. Most of them are not driven by ideology and are given their tasks by their different paymasters. They're killers puppets on strings. Our mass media perpetuates this myth of a united organized terrorist organization as part of the war on terror. However, these different groups are created and funded and organized by Western countries, including the U.S. And there's just these pictures again. You know, this reminds me of in G.I. Joe, there was the Cobra Commander and his terrorist organization. Doesn't this seem like it?
Yeah, definitely. But you know what? This also reminds me of the mob, like what we spoke about before with Hillary Clinton. It's like they're paid to take out someone. Well, that's the mob. You know, that's what they're there for. And then fear. The mob does that.
The Gambino family says they're going to take out ISIS if they come to New York. I don't know if you heard about that.
You told me.
Okay. The claim that Daesh, ISIS are puppets, the instruments of the political policies of several states and multinational, is not part of a conspiracy theory. It is in fact supported by evidence, including a document written on August 12, 2012, for the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agencies. Parts of this document will be reproduced below. So what do we really know about the attacks? We may never know all the details of the attacks, but one thing is perfectly clear. We know they were not organized by the high command of these terrorist groups, because there is no high command. The claim by the French president that the attacks constitute an attack by Syria or France is misguided at least 2 counts. First, if ISIS or Daesh really did organize the attacks, everyone knows they're completely different from the state of Syria. Second, a fake Syrian passport of one person can hardly be used to justify an attack on Syria itself. Where did Daesh come from and who supports them? According to theory, Masan, Daesh is an artificial creation. It was initially created in Iraq as part of a plan to stop the resistance of U.S. occupation. General David Petraeus created a number of anti-Shiite armed groups, including the Islamic Emirate in Iraq, the future Daesh. Now most of it is money coming from oil from selling in Afghanistan and donations from different Arab states. It is well known that the stolen petrol crosses Turkey before being sold in Western Europe, and for this reason there can be no possible doubt about Turkish support for Daesh. He also notes 3 weeks ago a spokesperson from the Syrian army revealed that 3 planes respectively chartered by Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates had exfiltrated Daesh combatants from Syria and taking them to Yemen. Once again, there can be no possible doubt concerning the links between the 3 states. The U.S. origins of ISIS. In May 2015, Yours Newswire posted a report about a stunning discovery by the U.S. government watchdog Juridical Watch. They forced the U.S. government to reveal documents in which the U.S. planned their support for the rise of ISIS in Syria and directed the CIA-trained ISIS members in Jordan. The U.S. intelligence documents not only confirmed suspicions that the United States and some of its coalition allies had actually facilitated the rise of ISIS in Syria as a counterweight to the Syrian government of President Bashar al-Assad, but also the ISIS members were initially trained by members and contractors of the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, as facilities in Jordan in 2012. And there you can see it, folks. I'm not going to read it, but you can see it. It's big and it's in yellow right there.
It's very important.
Exactly. It's very important, as people can see right there what it's all about.
So when you look at this, you say to yourself, 9/11 was an inside job. Do you really want more proof than this?
No, you don't. But this is beyond it. This is like the next step after Al Qaeda. That's why perhaps they caught Bin Laden, and they needed a new thing. So look, what happens in 2011? They get rid of Bin Laden, Al Qaeda, like you don't hear about it. And then around 2012 or 2013, you hear of ISIL, a new threat. And there was also Saddam Hussein before that. So there's always a new boogeyman, it seems.
Well, they always need someone to put threats, to put fear in people.
Exactly. There's always a boogeyman of some kind.
I don't know if you want me to keep on. I mean, this is a good bit of information right here.
Oh yeah, planned U.S. actions against Syria revealed earlier, and there's documents from the FBI that Syria and NATO started recruiting and training people at a NATO base in Turkey, right near the Syrian border, to stage terrorist attacks in Syria to overthrow the Syrian government. And this was the birth of ISIS in 2011, months before Syria came in the headlines. The story broke many sources here in the United States military, but also in Turkey, about the fact that special CIA and NATO forces in a NATO base in Turkey, which is the southern portion of Turkey, very close to the Syrian border. They were bringing in Turkey the CIA NATO GLADO unit. They were recruiting and bringing people from northern Syria in these camps, part of the U.S. Air Force base in southern Turkey. They were training them military training. They were arming them, and they were basically directing them towards creating a terror event inside Syria. Doesn't that sound like who else would be doing this?
Huh. We know who. How many times do we have to say who?
I
You
know,
know?
but the thing is, the creation of ISIS, 2011 that started, and it wasn't in May 2011 that they supposedly stopped Bin Laden and killed
Something
him.
like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then I said to myself, I remember, oh, there's no more boogeyman. Saddam Hussein's out of the way. Bin Laden, Al Qaeda now. So, but now they have to create this.
This will go on to the next one, right?
Yes,
Hey Ryan, hey, look at look at this. I'm happy, real happy when I
I
see a
know.
lot of
Ryan's
people
on is in the chat room right there.
with Susie and and so many other people, right?
Exactly.
You know who you are. It's always nice when people stop on by and say hi to
In
us.
2001, everybody was scared. Everybody was afraid of Bin Laden. I remember they used to show him with the beard, walking with the guns, psyops. And now, what do we have right now?
But you know what? When back then, I was never afraid of these people. I don't know. My gut feeling said so.
But ISIS, it's like they think they're gonna come down and they're gonna come to the White House and turn it upside down and everything. It's just, it's beyond.
Okay, so the next one.
I guess now the world's more connected since there was more people on the internet. ISIS dismissed anonymous hackers as idiots for threatening to shut down their Twitter accounts when they can just open new ones. Hacktivist Anonymous declared cyber war ISIS after Paris attacks. Efforts have been dismissed by jihadists who call them idiots. Jihadist affiliate mock and Anonymous affects hacking Twitter and email. ISIS fighters, many of the millennials, communicate via encrypted apps. ISIS militants have been who have been hacking collective anonymous attempts at declaring a cyber war, branding them as idiots. This hacking group promised to hunt down militant jihadists online from the terror attacks in Paris last week, which left 129 dead. However, ISIS jihadists use a number of encrypted apps and internet service to communicate and use social media under the radar, are clearly unimpressed by anonymous effort.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
What are they hiding?
I know because they use all kinds of encryption, smartphone messaging apps, Telegram to dismiss anonymous as idiots. What they're gonna hack? All they can do is hacking Twitter accounts and emails. The Islamic Cyber Army wrote, according to New York Magazine. Do not make your email same as your username on Twitter. This mistake cost many users sympathetic to ISIS their accounts and the Kufr non-Muslim published their IP, so be careful. Anonymous declaration of war came in a video posted to the group French YouTube page shortly after the Paris attacks. Wearing the group's signature Guy Fawkes mask, a spokesperson in French, Anonymous from all over the world will hunt you down. You should know that we will find you and we will not let you go. We will launch the biggest operation against you. Expect massive cyber attacks. War is declared. Get prepared.
So many videos.
Like I said before, we're going to see what's going to happen.
Look at this.
What?
See?
Yeah. Anonymous already published an update, a list of Twitter accounts they claim spread propaganda in support of ISIS, a list which now increased to 5,500.
It seems like ISIS is its own legions.
It's as if all this is going to drag us all into World War III.
It's not. It's just rumors of war.
Yeah, but the rumors of war, but there will be a war. It has to be.
Yeah, at the end.
Maybe we are closer than we think. But anyhow, getting back to this, and the jihadists are told to add a virtual network, VPN, to their mobile browsers, which allows you to mask your location and use a foreign IP, making it to look outside like you are in another city or country. To send images or messages to each other, they use fire chat.
No, we had that, remember?
Remember we had that and we got rid of fire chat a couple of months ago, which allows phones within a 200-meter way is to connect without using the internet, and emails are sent using encrypted apps. The details have emerged days after it was revealed ISIS has its own 24-hour jihad hotline.
Bit over here this article, but I don't know, man. This makes you wonder. That's my point, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's like they're really that prepared. But this is like they're using almost like American technology right there. All this is like American technology, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure. It all is.
And they're using it. There, I'm showing off Chitango.
Yeah.
As usual. I mean, because people do want to know what's happening on Chitango.
But do these members of ISIS really use that? We don't know. We simply don't know.
Oh, this is RT. Oh, I love RT.
Satanists in 2 U.S. states offer Muslims helping hand amid growing Islamophobia. And there's a satanic sign right there. With fears of Islamophobic assault rising after recent terror attacks in Paris, Muslims in 2 U.S. states have gotten a helping hand from Satanists. Big dudes have offered to escort Muslim and Sikhs afraid of hate attacks for groceries and everywhere. If there is anyone in the San Jose region who is a Muslim and afraid to leave their home out of fear for some kind of backlash, don't hesitate to reach out to us. The San Jose, California chapter of the Satanic Temple posted on Facebook. The San Jose chapter's initiative is supported by the national organization Minneapolis chapter, which also offered to help Muslims in the Twin Cities. It's not to ride the tide of sentiment to capitalize on people for further name recognition, the Satanic Temple in Minneapolis said on Friday. So I don't know. They wanna help out, but it's one group of evil offering to help another group.
I don't know what to make of this.
Pardon?
I don't know what to make of this one, you know?
I know. Well, yeah, exactly. The Satanic Temple. The Satanic people want to do this. It's just evil. Pretending that they want to be good, be Satanists.
But they're never. They're never.
However, no Muslim groups have asked for their help.
Why would they?
Exactly.
But there must be a lot of Islamophobe now.
And look at this picture over here. There's a guy who lives who's from Quebec in Montreal who says he's gonna kill an idiot right here who says he's gonna kill Muslims.
One Muslim. Well, it says it right here. Look at that. One Arab.
What?
Man in Joker mask threatens to kill one Arab a week in Canada, gets arrested.
What an idiot. We don't want to kill nobody. In fact, in fact, we just want ISIS to be brought to justice.
We can't kill anybody. It's about love and respect. That's it. That's what it all comes down to.
All this evil in the world is just beyond anything, you know? But this guy, I don't know. And did you know that this guy that said it, he's in a wheelchair?
So how much killing can he do? But that's why he's a joker.
He's a joker, just an idiot posting up videos like this. Not good, not good.
There. Polly, look at that. Polly is there. See that? Polly.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Is that the Polly I think it is? Who I think it is?
It is.
Okay, good. It wouldn't be our show without him too, right? Okay, the next one.
In a secret Paris cavern, the real underground cinema.
I've seen this picture before. I've seen those things, no?
The catacombs, underlying in Paris. Police in Paris have discovered a fully equipped cinema cum restaurant in a large and previously uncharted cavern underneath the capital Chic's 16 arrondissement. Officials admit that they are at a loss to know who built or who used one of Paris's most intriguing recent discoveries. We have no idea whatsoever, a policeman spokesperson said. There were no two swastikas painted on the ceilings, but also Celtic crosses and several stars of David. So we don't think it's extremist, some sect or secret society maybe. There are a number of possibilities. Members of the force's sports squad responsible across other tasks for policing the 170 miles of tunnels, caves, galleries, and catacombs that underlie large parts of Paris stumbled on the complex white on a training exercise beneath the Palais de Chalot across the Seine from the Eiffel Tower. After entering the network through a drain next to the Trocadero, the officers came across a tarpaulin-marked business building site, no access. Behind a tunnel held a desk and a closed-circuit TV camera set to automatically record images of anyone passing. The mechanism also triggers a tape of dog barking, clearly designed to frighten people off, the spokesperson said. Further along, the tunnel opened in a vast 400 square meters cave of some 18-meter underground, like an underground amphitheater with terraces cut off rock chairs. Then the police found a fully equipped cinema screen, projection equipment, and tapes of a wide variety of films, including 1950s film noir classics and more recent fillers. None of the films were banned or even offensive, the spokesperson said. What do you make of all of this underneath in the tunnels?
I don't know, but what does this have to, I'm sure this is what a million people be asking, the million viewers. What does this have to do with ISIS? I'm trying to understand this.
These tunnels apparently were being used by
the terrorists. Okay. Now.
Why? This I don't know. I'm just getting this information here. But it makes you wonder. I can't say this with certainty here, but that's what it seems to imply. And it's been sealed off. People aren't allowed to go. Look right here. The miles of tunnels and catacombs underlying Paris are essentially former quarries dating from Roman times, for which much of the stone was dug to build the city. Today, visitors can take guided tours around a tightly restricted section, the catacombs, where the remains up to 6 million Parisians were transferred from overcrowding cemeteries in the late 1700s. But since 1955, for security reasons, it has been an offense to penetrate into or circulate within the rest of the network. So this makes you wonder what the heck is going on in there.
We should go and make a video or a show down there. MnR.
Yeah, if we're able to go down there.
Yeah, we'll just show them our passes and we'll go.
Oh yeah, exactly, for sure. And we'll bring the beast with us.
Yes, that's it. It's to break any heads.
And we'll bring all kinds of other people with us.
All right, so that's it for the out.
Yeah. I think that the underground tunnels mean something more than burial crypts of the plague.
Maybe it was something held back then.
Maybe they were using it now. Who knows? Really?
Yeah, we'll never know. But you know what I always say? When there's a lie, eventually you cannot always cover up a lie.
Exactly. And this is the final article, right?
Yes, it is. The final one.
ISIS magazine calls for attacks on Canada. Where we are at. The latest issue of the book, a magazine published by the Islamic State, is again calling for attacks on Canada. A professional-looking magazine available in English and other languages, the Beak is used as a tool to attract recruits and provide messages to followers. The latest issue, released November 18, is titled Just Terror, including among the 65 pages of propaganda is a reprint of words first person by ISIS spokesperson Abu Mohammed al-Adani, referencing Canada. It's called Al-Mujahideen, meaning jihad fighters in Western countries, including Canada. Your state is facing a new campaign by the Crusaders. We call you up to defend the Islamic State. Rise and defend your state from your place wherever you may be. While ISIS encourages recruits to join them in Syria, in Iraq and Syria, they also want Western supporters to conduct attacks in their home countries. The statement continues, kill a kafir American or European, especially the spiteful and filthy French or an Australian or a Canadian. Kafir is Arabic for non-believers or infidel. Silly. Hmm. It continues, ranging in articles of a jihad fighter to be a theological breakdown on why it's okay to have multiple wives. It's unclear exactly how much of an influence that Beak yields or how many statements can and Canadian radical reads it. Based on previous CSIS and RCMP statements, there are at least a couple hundreds of serious Canadian radicals. In an issue following the two Canadian terror attacks in October of last year, the magazine states these attacks were the direct result of al-Anani's call to action. This has never been verified, but such calls are frequently republished throughout this magazine. Last Wednesday, Canadian Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale announced the country's threat level remains at medium, which has been since it was upgraded from low over a year ago. So now we're at a medium threat.
Medium reason to fear not.
Yeah. I would urge
That's what
Canadians
it's all
themselves to
for.
be alert. What?
Yeah, go on. No, just finish this.
I would urge Canadians themselves to be alert in the wake of these very troubling circumstances, Goodale said, referring to the Paris attacks. Gosh, I hope that this article is wrong.
It is wrong. It just
we don't want attacks here.
But then again, don't forget it's mainstream. It's Toronto Sun. That's mainstream. So I would say the opposite. Always remember that. Keep that always in mind. When they say medium, means very little, but they're just saying medium. When they say high, it means medium. Like, you know, it's like that.
If they mean low, it could mean high?
No. Well, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It's always the opposite. Always keep that in mind. If they say run, don't run. If they say run, if they say don't run, then you run. If they're definitely, I wonder what they would say about our show. Would they say, watch our show?
No, they say, we'll just say, forget it, these guys are mental.
Exactly. That means we're not mental. Right?
Right.
So, what a good show. That was the last news, or not news bit, but the last bit.
Yes,
topic
it was.
So in all that, like, you know, in all nutshell, like how I say in a nutshell, I say don't worry, right?
Yeah.
Not worth worrying. Don't waste your life in worrying, because what does worrying do? You know, just stages you.
I was watching a show about terrorism last night on CNN, and oh my God, everything that was happening, it looked like it was a Hollywood script.
It is.
How they trained him, how this happened, how that happened. It looked like something out of a good movie.
And then you know what I hate about CNN? They always show the same scenes. It's like almost as if they want it to be engraved in your head.
Yeah, it is.
That's why it is our responsible here, or even you folks watching, you non-sheeple. Hello, Kelly C, by the way. It is very important that you share this video, that you should, not you have to, because you're not obliged to do it, but it is very important that you get this video out there, because you know what, as much as CNN wants to get their bullcrap fed in sheeple's heads, we got to get this non-stream media, because that's what we are, we're non-stream media, out there, so that it gets programmed in people's head that everything's a lie that they're saying and doing. That's very important.
Share the video, folks. Share it with people, you know. I mean, let's get the word out about what's going on, about everything.
And someone out there doesn't want it to be out, though. That's the thing.
No, exactly. And that's why we're constantly being shut down. Our computers go down. Our modems. There's always some kind of problem when we do the show. Most of the time, not maybe 8 out of 10 times. There's always something, you know. But who knows?
Or another thing I've experienced before doing the show, my computer was very slow. I was like, why? And the first time in a long time, my Google Chrome crashed. I was like, why is it crashing before the show, like around 4, when I was getting the show ready? Because a lot of people tend to forget that you and I, Robert, where we spend a lot of time on this show. It takes us a whole week to get this show prepared.
I know.
Then the day before, we got to put the pictures of the week, go on the conspiracy talk, go see which ones are very popular. We got to get the top news out there.
Then I've
That's
got to
like
research the subject when we don't get a guest. Like when we don't have a guest, I have to research the subject, make sure it all makes sense, that it's verified. Then we have to promote the show. Then once the show's up, we promote it. Once the show's up, we promote it and post it everywhere. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, people tend to forget, but it's a lot of work doing this show, and that's why it's important that people put it out there, put it on your wall. I know a lot of sheeples out there will laugh at you, but it's okay. Don't forget. Look at Noah and his ark. Everybody was laughing at Noah. Ah, ha, ha, look, no, Noah, him, he's an idiot for doing that. Ha ha. They were drinking and this and that. Look what happened at the end. Noah was victorious because he did what God told him to do, right?
Exactly.
So it's like that. We're always going to be faced with mockers, and people just love to take that big juicy tomato and just whip it at me and Robert right now for bringing all these things up, right?
Exactly.
But you know what? You can do it. You'll just break your screen, right? Or you'll break your camera. I'm not talking about you and us, you and I, Robbie, or the people viewing.
Exactly, and we want to expose it, but like we don't have like the financial backing, like someone like Paulie is saying. The problem is they have more money than you or me. Money equals exposure. That's true, but at least we're trying. That's what counts. We're trying to expose all the evils of this world.
With the little money we have, we're using it, and knowledge, and we all have to stick together. Hey, that's important too. We have to stick together. It's like I know it's hard, but they want to divide us. So we gotta remember that they're always trying to divide us. Now, who's laughing? Are they laughing at us? See
Of course,
that?
they're laughing at us.
Why would they be laughing at us? Look,
I don't know. Give them a reason why they wouldn't laugh at us. I mean,
please tell us why you're laughing. Please be nice and kind and tell us why we're laughing. Is it you're laughing at us, or are you laughing?
I don't know. I don't think Noah was married. He would not take false flag girl on a date.
I mean, you know what we should do one day? We should just do a show and have people just do it on Chatango and have people ask questions and we search it up. You know,
Back in the vocals days.
Yeah, we should do that. You know, and
when we started doing this we started doing this show back in February, the 3rd of February, I think 2012. We started doing it that week of February 3rd, 6th. That's when we started doing the show. Yes, we are relevant. The more people know, the more people can wake up. But a lot of people, I find, are waking up that there's something wrong. A lot of people, we can sense that there's something going on, that there's not everything's quite right. People are not as gullible as before, thanks to the internet and shows and people that expose these sort of things going on.
Sometimes, you know what I think? It's like the least person you think, you just he'll be popping up stuff about Paris being an inside job with a false flag. Like, you know, I was like, wow, I didn't know you were a truther. It's like, wow, you actually woke up, you know?
Exactly.
That's what amazes me.
But the thing is, when I was watching CNN, it was like propaganda. After watching it, I was edgy. I was like, oh my God, we've got like this terrorist group that's going to come after us and kill us all. And it looks like it's something out of G.I. Joe with the Cobra Commander and what was it called? Cobra, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you see that's how they can now. You imagine that you know what you know. You know the truth. You're a truther.
I get numb sometimes.
But you could still fall in their trap. That's why it's important not to watch this mainstream news, especially CNN, even BBC, because they kind of like study the ways to encrypt things. Not encrypt. There's that word. That word that they have problems pronouncing. What is it? Subliminal messages.
Subliminal messages. Yeah.
It's like they put that.
And it's fear.
Yeah, they engrave it in your head that there's terrorists out there and they're coming out to get you. So be afraid. Go hide. But there is no such thing. That's the thing. It's just Hollywood. It's like how many times do we have to say it? It's just Hollywood scene. There's no such thing as that. I'm not saying religion's obviously not perfect. Religion's far from being perfect because it's controlled by money, but still, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, the thing is, there is something going on that did happen in Paris, but it's not what. There's more to it than meets the eye. That's all I'm gonna say.
They probably, yeah, it did happen. I think that they just overmade it. Like, let's make it a bigger story than it is. Kind of like if you go inside a store and you drop, or you no, you find $10 on the floor. Well, there'll be cameras and they'll say, "Oh my God, look, Robert stole $1,000 off the floor," and they'll be like, kind of showing the same camera and saying, "Look, you see, he picked up the $100 when it was really $10, and he's bad. Robert's a criminal. He stole $1 million off the floor." And then they'll be like, getting all those guys, like, what's his name, the Wolf man there? What's his name? Wolf Blitz.
Blitzer.
He's going to be saying, "Oh, Robert stole that $1 million," when all you did was you just took a $10 to give it to the cashier back because you're an honest man. Well, that's exactly what are happening in these false flags, terrorist attacks. They're overdoing it. That's my point.
I don't know. It's like when I was watching, it felt like I was watching a movie. It's like I could have my popcorn. I was just eating it. When it was talking, it was talking about terrorist ISIS and Osama bin Laden. It's as if and then, but then I felt like at ease. Like I felt like I have to go fight the terrorists. I've got to fight them. I've got to put on my Batman suit, go there and stop them all. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's ridiculous. But how could she? And you know what? I think a lot of sheeples might be starting to wake up to it. They might be saying to themselves, "But what the hell am I watching here? What am I wasting my precious time studying here?"
Yeah. I don't know. Have you heard about there's supposed to be some kind of Syrian or Iraqi Rambo that's going after ISIS? I think I sent it to you. It's a big guy.
Yeah, I think I heard it, but I was saying this is gibberish. It's
I
not
sent it.
worth.
I sent it to some of my associates, and they never got back to me on it. But it looked like it was like big propaganda.
It is. It is. It's like they just want heroes. They make they make enemies and then they make heroes. Kind of like watching wrestling. It's the same thing like watching wrestling. It's the same thing. There's a bad guy and there's a good guy, and we have to see who wins. That's what's happening here. Back then, back in the time, there used to be the black trunks and the white trunks, and we knew who was the bad guy with the black trunks and the white guy with the white trunks. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I
I
was thinking, and I always would ask, but who's the good guy? My friend told me the guy wearing the white trunks is the good guy, and the guy wearing the black trunks is the bad guy. Well, it's the same thing here. It's like you just have to know who's the good guy and who's the bad guy.
I know exactly, and I don't know. But one thing I want to say. Remember, I said a couple of months ago. Oh, there's not talking about ISIS anymore. Everything's quiet. I was saying good. Now we don't hear. And last year was ISIS and Ebola and ISIS. Now what are they going to do in the summertime? We're going to be talking about Ebola again. What happened to Ebola?
No,
Tell me.
Ebola, you know when Ebola's gonna get back hot again? I'm telling you, in February. Watch.
Why February?
I have a strong feeling February again, that's when Ebola's gonna come out. They're gonna just push it.
Well, it could be. I'm not sure though, but it could be. Well, I don't know, but we'll see. If this happens, we'll say Mario's onto something.
But you know what's the sad part? No, I'm not a prophet, so I don't want to be known as a prophet, or I'm just saying my gut feeling. The sad part is here's our minister in Quebec saying that he has money for the refugees, the Syrian refugees, right?
Yeah.
But now if we get ISIS, I mean not ISIS, if we get Ebola coming here, we won't have enough money to clean it up when it comes in the hospitals or to have nurses taking care of it. What a
I
mess.
but we don't hear. Thank God we don't hear about it anymore in mainstream news like all the time, everywhere. I mean, it gone by just as the H1N1 almost like that. But last year, that's all we're talking about.
But how could this still ticks me off the whole night? It ticks me off. How could our premier say that? Don't worry, we have enough money for those Syrian refugees. Rob, this is how I'm going to end the show. We started it with this. I think we're going to end the show
But
with
I don't
this.
see you.
What?
I don't see you.
What do you mean you don't see me?
I don't see you. I just see the chat room.
Okay, here you want to see me?
Well, yeah, but people want to see you, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess so. Anyhow, what ticks me off is that Kuyao saying we have money. We found money for these Syrian refugees, but yet he has no money for the workers that want to work in the public sector, not private sector, public sector, the cleaners, anybody that works in hospitals, what else? What other public areas there are? Schools, there's no money for that. There's no money for doctors, no money for nurses, no money for anything. But yet the guy has a call. He owns the balls to say we have enough money for these Syrian refugees that we're going to bring them here, and it's okay. We have your money, losers, because that's what he's saying. He's calling us losers because it's going to come out of our pockets, and now we're supposed to even bring them over in our house. Is that what I heard?
Oh, you heard that? I don't know. I didn't hear. I haven't been researching that, but I've been watching mainstream news in a while, except last night for CNN terrorist report.
Invite them in your house, invite them here. I don't get it. I honestly don't understand it. And the only reason why these Syrian refugees are here, how many times I have to say it, or they're coming and they went into Europe and they went here, is because these guys bombed their houses. How many times? Well, these guys, the governments, the heads, the kings of this world,
The Illuminati.
yes, they bombed their homes. And it's not right that they have no homes. That I'm going to lay it out to you. I'm going to say, yeah, it's not right. They're homeless. I understand that. But why don't they give them, why did they bomb their houses? Why? Why? That's a question mark. What a big why. Why did they bomb their houses? Because the globalists, that's why. The globalists want to make this world one, right? To make a new world order.
Well, yeah, and of course, but don't forget, there has to be 3 world wars, World War One happened, World War Two. World War Two will be the Christians against Islam and all of that in the Middle East. And it's all written in the Protocols of Elders of Zion. If people want to know what that is, research that, and they'll tell you the big blueprint, the big outline that they planned for this.
But,
to bring in the one world order, depopulation agenda.
But nobody cares.
No.
Nobody cares.
They'd rather watch who won the soccer game or the hockey game or the football game, especially, and it's
except for the 2%, which is us, right? Because we're the 2% of the 99%. Because the 99% they're like sheeples, they just go running around.
Yeah,
and it's like, but that is why you and I and whoever's watching the show, you're all shepherds. You all got to guide the sheep in the right direction. That's why we're doing this show at the end. It's not to mock the people. We don't want to mock you. We want to guide you in the right directions, like that you follow. Because you need a good leader. I hope I'm a good leader. I hope you're a good leader. I hope all you people watching, you're watching this for a reason. I hope you're all good leaders.
Exactly. But anyhow, we've got to end the show tonight, and next week we're going to be back. We're going to have a returning special guest next week. We won't say who it is till the time comes, and that's it. So we hope you enjoyed our show, and God bless you all, and we'll be here next week, God willingly. And thank you for watching the show. We love you all. Peace out.
All right. Thank you for watching, people. We'll be back next week, God willing. Keep on watching, keep on promoting, showing, liking, commenting, and keep on exposing what you know, saying what you know. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye.
Later, guys.